Okay, so we have Scout's Memories. Are you recording, Carl? All right, we have Scout's Memories. Case 2, Case 3. So we have some level Ds, then Cs, Bs. Okay, let's see about these ones. Ooh, 8. The thing about 8, though, is it'll go across the middle, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means the only one that's guaranteed is the middle, but that does mean that this is the 2 in this row. Now this one, 11 and 10, yeah. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means it can move over 3 spaces. So that's how far I can go with that one. 11. It can move over 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the 10 and 11 is going to be there. Yeah, the 1 is somewhere up here. We don't know quite where. 1, 2, 4, 1, 4, 2. Interesting. That's an interesting pattern. Now these are 6 1s. No, 6. Yeah, 6 1s in a row. The 1, 5, 1 is interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, because the thing about this one is there's 4 spaces that it can move. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I suppose that means then that we know that this has to be in here somewhere. Now, these have to be part of that 4. Yeah, but we don't know how far the 3 extends. Or the 1, wherever the 1 could be around here. So we can't be positive about that. What does this look like? Yeah, unfortunately, there's just too many places that those 1s could be situated. How about this side? 2 and 2, 3, 1, 3, 1. Ooh, 2, 6, 3. What would that look like? 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 3. So there's a 2-point shift, which means this isn't possible, but I can take those away. So, but the interesting thing about this is, then that means that that has to be down there, which means that this would be the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute. Was that really set in stone? Let me go back for a moment. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, that's the only way it could come back here before that, so it looks like that has to be where it is. Alright, that's nice. Which means that this is a 1 that's blocked off. Now this could be the 1 or the 3. This has to be a 1. This has to be a 1. Now this could be one of the 1s, or this could be part of the 5 down here. So I can't rule that out. Yeah, there's too much space for that. It could still be the 1 or part of the 3. And this one could be 1, 1, and then 2, 2 somewhere over there. So not quite. Now this is interesting. 2, 3, 2, 1. This is a 2 that's already here. Oh, actually, 2, 3, 2, 1 can be over here. At least that's what it seems to be to me. But wait a minute. Yeah, because if you made this 3, you can't have 2 and 1 past it. So 2, 3 is somewhere in here, and then 2, and then 1 is on this side? That means that the 3 has to be here. Okay. That's looking good. How about this? Yeah, this is still part of the 4. Now this is 2, 7, 1. So this is definitely part of the 7, but the 1 could be anywhere on this side. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 1, 5. And that could be part of the 3. We just don't know which way. Same with that. This one, you can't have a 1, and a 2 here.
I am back if you want a snack.
Okay. So I think that's going to have to be one of the ones in this row. All right, and then Wander will take over. After he takes a drink of, what is it? What do you have on hand?
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you could extend the 10 down.
Yep. Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm like, why didn't she?
I was figuring out the middle.
Okay.
Oh, actually, look at that right there. Can you go up to the up?
Here?
Down. Down. Isn't that the 2?
This? Yeah.
Because the 1s have to be on that side. So the 4 is somewhere on the left. Oh, and that has to be the 4. Look at that. Down. Look at that. So can you negate a lot to the left?
Yep.
And yeah.
Okay. Well, we also know the 5 is over here. So we know that's over there, which means... Except for that one, no, because this is a 5. Okay. We'll figure the rest of that out in a bit. We know that's there. We know the 6 is here.
So it's somewhere in there. Then you can X off everything at the bottom.
Let's see.
I'll have some munchies.
Yeah, shallow blue munch. And I will solve. Let's see, that's a 2. Which means I know where this 5 is. Which means we know where the 11 almost is? Almost is. Let's see, this is 4, 5. So we know that's locked off. Let's see. We don't know if that's the... Well, 1 or whatever. We know this is the 4, so we know that's there, which means this is the 3, which means this is the 2, which means we know where the 6 is, and this whole thing is done. Okay. That's got to be the 2, which means that's locked off, which means this moves over 2 more, locked off a little bit more. Means that's the 6. Means that's all locked off. Let's see. Have the Picrosses gotten harder? They have. Shell, why is the 263 all the way over on the left? Because you put this here, but I'm curious why these are...
The 11 had to be up there.
Hmm.
When I started it off, the 11 extended up to that row.
Yeah, but why isn't this the last of the 6 instead of the 3?
Because when I put the 2... Oh, I suppose it could move over 1 space.
I could move over 2 spaces. That's a lot of a swing.
Oops.
Would
the 3 would have only... Yeah, the 3 would have had to have fit on that side with 1 space.
It could have been right here, though.
Yeah.
And the 6 could have been up. Judging by this, it's not, but there's a real possibility. It could be. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. That's the 5. Means now we don't know if that's a 1 or a 2. We know where one of the 2s is. Let's see. So, yeah, have the Picrosses gotten harder? Considerably harder. But yeah, be very careful with your assumption, Michelle.
Yeah, I suppose it could have been part of the 6.
Okay. That's got to be a 1.
Oh, that has to be part of the 3.
Yeah, it's got to be part of the 3. Let's see.
How many more 1s can you fit? Yeah. Not enough. It has been determined. Oh, hey, you have the 2. And, oh. Oh, down there. Go down. Down. That.
Where?
That row.
This?
Yeah, look, the 2 is already there.
This one?
Yeah. So then that has to be the 1.
That is true. Okay, so we know the 4 is there. That's part of the 7. We know the 4 is part of that. 2 can't fit there, so we gotta lock that off, which means that's the other 2, which lock that off. We know where the 4 is. We know where this 4 is. Lock that off. We know the 7's part of that, which means we know where the 7 is. We know the 5 is. We know where the 1 is. We know where the 3 is. Lock that off. Lock that off. That's probably part of the 3, but I'm not in the habit of making assumptions. Put that there. That's got to be a 2. Means that's locked off there. We have a 1, 2, and a 4, so that whole column is done.
How's the 8 looking?
1 point swing
yeah,
either way.
1 point swing.
Yep. Let's see. Got the 3, got the 11. We need a 1 in there somewhere. We need a 1 right here. Oh. At this point... yeah. This has to be the 1. Which means these are all locked off. That's got to be the 3. We don't know where the 1 is. 2, 3. The 1 could be any of those, so I'm not a betting man on that one.
Oh, actually, you know where it has to be. The 110 row, or column.
This one? Oh, you're right. Okay, so 1, 3, 1. 2 has got to be somewhere in here.
So that means that you can block off something there. Yeah.
Yep. Bring those forward. This has to have 2 more in there, so we know where this 4 is now.
That has to be the last one of that row.
This has got to be the 3. This is the 4. This is the 1. That's locked off. 2 is here.
It seems to be making a bunch of circular shapes. Is the 8 closer to being finished? It has to be down in the 11 row.
There you go.
Yeah! So thank goodness my assumption was right.
Yep. Okay,
mug.
that reminds me, I've got to turn off my Iron Danger command, because that doesn't need to run anymore. Let's see, Murder by Numbers, have you missed any story? No, you have not. We actually have just been working on the, we always start every Murder by Numbers session with the... Nope. With the bonus puzzles. Mainly just because they're kind of a fun diversion. And it also gives people time to filter in if they, you know, weren't interested in the previous game. Plus, I'll be honest, I actually just really like doing the bonus puzzles. As soon as we find out where one of these is in this row, we're golden. But until then... Let's see...
I love tortilla chips.
Got a 1 point swing.
It's one of my weaknesses in life. I especially like them with salsa.
Yeah, we should probably make fajitas, though. I mean, realistically, we're in a slightly better position in terms of groceries now that people aren't panic buying as much anymore, so we could feasibly order more if we needed to, but it's also one of those where it's best that we don't. If we can hoard. Okay, that's got to be a 2. 1, 4.
Someone's mentioned fudge. Yeah, fudge is a good one too. Whenever we go to ice cream parlors and such, and I'm given the option of having any one of a multitude of flavors of ice cream, and I love trying new flavors of ice cream, mind you. But there's something about having just a hot fudge sundae on soft serve vanilla ice cream with a maraschino cherry on top that's just classic. Oh yeah, whipped cream too. But I just love it so much. And soft serve is just something you can't do at home. So, Now, another thing to put on tortilla chips, I haven't seen it mentioned, but back at our college, there was this place called Salsaritas, and it had this wonderful white queso. And it was, we would comment to each other that, yeah, this is probably really bad for, you know, fat and cholesterol and who knows what, but they were just that good. And it was the only instance that I had ever had really good queso. Though, at the Mexican restaurants that we used to frequent back in Kansas, there was this espinaca dip, which was a sort of spinach-based creamy dip, and that was good too.
A bean dip is great. Bean dip is good, but it's hard to find good bean dip, from my experience. I got a neighbor that made really good bean dip whenever we'd play, whenever we'd have, like, social outings with his family. And it was delicious. And I've always wanted to learn how to make really good bean dip on my own.
Oh, 5, you could probably limit down on the right.
This one?
Yeah.
No.
The 5 column. Look.
This one?
Oh, you know, you're right.
Yeah.
It's too short a column. Sorry.
Yep.
I'm just stuffing my face right now because I think before we played the last game, I had about...
You had half of your soup.
A minute? No, I wasn't even able to have half of it. And during our recording, my stomach was just growling incessantly.
The place near you that has great bean dip. We usually eat about 3 salsa containers worth of it. Damn. I don't know. I'm still kind of salty about this whole quarantine thing. Not because, like, you know, obviously I'm not going to disobey it or anything like that. But I like eating out. I like food.
Yeah, we would eat out, I would say once a week, but sometimes twice if there was an event or another outing.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of those that, like, losing the ability to eat out has been frustrating. Not necessarily because I need it, but just because... no, can't do that yet.
It's nice to have something new and unique that you don't usually make at home and not have to worry about cleaning up the mess and preparing it yourself. That and just trying out new things. And usually we eat out and well, it coincides with our grocery trips and other outings, so it just works.
Yep. But unfortunately, we are stuck inside for the next whoever. I'm going to be belly aching about this. I'm going to be honest about it. I'm a bit sad mad that I can't get my good foods. Because, yeah.
I make good food.
You do make good food. You do make absolutely wonderful food. But it's still nice to have a break and not have to think about, like, how to feed. So you check on some of your restaurants you frequent. A lot in the area have takeout now. My main issue is just I don't necessarily know.
We don't know how many people have touched or helped in the preparation of particular things.
Yeah. That one's kind of tough for me. It's like, I would love to support local businesses better in this time, but it's also one of those where it's like, I don't know how many of their employees, practice social distancing, clean habits, so on and so forth.
What would you do if you're gifted,
50 subs? I would be very thankful. It has happened before. It's hard to...
We do a very long thank you train.
Yeah, it's a very long thank you train. And it's very hard for me to, like, immediately react, but it's very much like a holy shit thanks on repeat. It's happened a number of times. Grim Mooser, he's been a little bit busy lately, but he was specifically very generous for a while. Let's see, that's got to be the 4, because it's not going to fit any other way.
Oh, that one at the end on the right.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Don't know that one. Don't know these.
Oh, hey, that 2 would have to be that middle square at the low end.
This one?
Down.
Oh.
There.
Down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
You're correct.
Oh, hey, don't you know that last one in that same column?
This
up
one?
At the top. Up the top.
Oh, up here.
Yes. Oh, hey, that limits your op. Oh, no, it doesn't. Never mind.
I'm doing pretty good here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 1, 3, 1, 1. So that's got to be there.
That has to be the last one.
That's got to be there, and that's got to be there. There we go.
It's a candy wrapper?
I think so. Rose bunting.
Rose bunting. It
What was the
looked
last
like
one? A mug.
a 10 crossed with 10. Whoa, look at the 4, 2, 1, 2. And the 2, 1, 5, 1, 1. And the 1, 5, 1, 2, 1.
We'll look at that in a bit. Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a 1-point swing. It's close. If you were watching another streamer and people were spamming gift subs and you hated it. I mean, the thing is, you have to always react to that sort of thing with grace, because this is somebody's livelihood. And so if a streamer you're following gets a gift of that variety, you have to kind of be happy for them, even if, like, yeah, it's kind of annoying and it interrupts.
We prefer to stop the recording.
Yeah, that's usually what I do. But that's mainly for the YouTube side of things. Every once in a while I've done a couple of series where, like, I wasn't capable of doing so, or it was kind of inconvenient to do so. Or, you know, it wasn't a main series, so it didn't matter so much. Actually, no.
Figure out something?
Yeah, this has to be this way, because we already know this one's here.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way, the only wiggle room is on the right, which has no wiggle room.
Okay. So you can fill that
Makes
in?
it easy. Let me see. Instead of being annoyed by it, you should always be... I'm not going to say glad. Glad for someone else, because this is potentially their livelihood, and to be gifted that sheer amount of subs and support means they can keep going for that much longer. And for a lot of people, you know, that straight up can be, like, the difference between making rent, being able to buy a new important upgrade. Huh. Same deal, actually, here.
Oh.
It's not quite ironclad, but the only wiggle room's on one separate side. Let's see. Okay. Well, that's a lot of nice ironbound. Give me a second. I'm just going to fill
Yeah, I was
fill
just
all
worried
of
that
these
you were
in.
going to forget what purples were hypothetical and which
No.
ones were...
As soon as I figure out which column or row is hypothetical or not, I turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I guess the other thing, just to finish my little bit, is that streamers are not entertainment machines, nor should they be treated as such. And so...
Oh, that can be filled in for the 10.
let's see, the 10?
We'll look down at the
Here?
2-1. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we know where the 10 is. Perfect. Oh, there's a 10 here, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Unfortunately, the top is not the most helpful.
I mean, there you know the 3
Yeah.
and the 2. Actually, that row is done.
This
second
one?
one.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Let's see. 2, 2, 3, 1, 2. No, we don't know enough
Yeah,
about
it's
that one.
somewhere
We
in
know the
there.
4 is here.
1,
We know that's there.
and then that's probably the next one.
That's got to be the 5.
No.
Oh,
There are 3 ones before
whoops.
the 5. So,
I think we knew that was there. Ugh. Well, okay, so that means we know the 5's over here. So we know that's extended over at least a little bit.
2,
There
3.
we go.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, is that...
Oh, wait, no. No. Actually,
Those have to be 1s down there. Yep.
well, that works out. Okay, so we can close those off. Which means that's a 2 there. That's a 1 there. That's a 2 there, which means this is a 2 here. These are locked off. Let's see. That's a singular 1, which means we know where the 5 is. We know where the 1 is.
Actually, you know where the 4 is in that bottom row.
Here?
Yeah.
You're right.
So, lock it off.
Yep. We know where the whole thing is. This one's surprisingly easy.
Oh, you can limit the 1 to one of those.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
There's a lot here.
Yeah, that can't be there. On the left?
It's over here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have any other open ones? There we go. Let's see. That's a 2. I'm always looking for the...
Doesn't that mean the 5 is in there?
right here? Yeah. I'm always looking for the open spaces first, because you can just triangulate really easily what's a 1 and a 2.
Oh, that 2 can be crossed off.
Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
There's a number of columns that can be limited here.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta make sure. So that can't be there. That's gotta be there.
The 1 has to be one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, it can't be at the end, actually. You know that.
Gotta be there. Yeah, this whole end column is done. 4 is here, 2 is here. So that's all done. What about this? These are locked off, which means we know where the last one is.
Yeah, you know where the last
that-
ones are.
That is 3. Okay. This is a 5, which we know is there. Clear all this out. 2, and done.
Yeah. Ooh, what is it? A special comb?
It's a hairpin?
Bulb
Bulb
cover.
Huh. Okay. Oh.
Oh,
music.
the groovy music.
It's the groovy music.
Oh, is it persisting?
Yeah. I wanted this music to come back earlier. I wonder if they fixed it. Oh. 2-point swing.
And their 9 is in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a bit of a swing, but we know where that is. Okay, I'm gonna start switching over to this already.
Oh, the 6 is probably in there.
Yeah. It's got a 1-point swing. Let's see.
Yeah, the 5 is probably filled in there.
It's got a sort of a 2-point swing. It's only got a 1-point swing here.
Right, because those have to be in.
Yeah. But it can swing elsewhere. Let's see. Any other easy ones that I'm not seeing?
Oh, hey. Well, if that's known, you can't have anything next to it over there. I
Which?
think, or
Who?
no. So, can you look to the right?
Here?
Oh, that can be 2, 4. The 4 is probably that one, but you don't know.
Yeah, give me
where.
a second before you start solving it. There's still
Yeah,
potentially
there's still a lot
some.
of stuff.
Well, I'm not actually sure if there's any other low-hanging fruit, but I have to check.
Can you fill in the other ones in black at least?
Yeah.
There we go. That's a little bit better. Oh. Look at that.
Hmm?
See the 11141 row in the middle?
This?
That has to be spaced in between.
You're right.
So that's locks off some of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this one. This one's definitely got... Uh-huh. So we just don't know where the 1 is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, you can put an X over to the right of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one space or the other. Wait a minute. Ooh, you know it can't be the far end. Because look at that too.
Ah.
So it has to be that one. You can solve that row. Can I take it?
Yeah.
Meh. Wait, why is it in this purple mode? No. There.
Oh, right.
Oh, wait, hey, and if this is the 6, then that means it has to be here. The 1, right? Like that? Like this?
Yep. So you just click those two? Okay. Let's see. So we have somebody asking, how do you play Picross? And the answer is you have coordinates. But you don't necessarily know. Like, this isn't saying...
It's actually similar to Battleship if you think about it.
Yeah, kind of. Okay. So easiest way to describe it is each row and column has a number. Or multiple numbers, and each number corresponds with a series of tiles that are blacked out. So in this one, 1, 4, 5, 1. So we know in this row there's a 1, a 4, a 5, and a 1. But you don't necessarily know where they are. But obviously there's only so many spots that you can put them in. And the trick is you compare vertical with horizontal over and over and over again to slowly narrow it down to the exact numbers. Obviously, you start with a totally blank grid, and that makes it really difficult to work around. Nice part is, you're not necessarily constrained by that. Oops. I'm gonna undo that for a second. Yeah, we don't actually know where that is. We don't know where that is either. Oh, and since we know this is the only 4 here... Okay, there we go. So just to explain what I did there, we know that there are 4 blacked out tiles that are adjacent to each other.
No, please.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. I'm just trying to explain this, and you're taking it away from me. So we know there are 4 blanked out tiles in this column, but we don't know where they are. But we do know where 2 out of the 4 are. Hence why I've X'd off everything except for the 4 potential blank tiles that the 4 could extend to. So it could extend, all the way up, all the way down, or sit kind of in the middle of that.
Can I explain something too?
Sure.
Okay, so for instance, we have some stuff filled in here. This is a 114. And if you notice here and here, the 4 has to be the final number in this row, which means it would have to be there.
Yeah, the 4 has to be there no matter what.
Is a 1, so you have to X it. They give you something where you can X a space off so that you don't accidentally fill it.
Yeah, you don't actually need the X, interestingly enough. Like you can actually take out all of the X's. Those are just for your own. It's like flags in Minesweeper.
Yeah, it helps you keep track of what you know isn't possible.
Yeah, what you know and how things work. Let's see. It's a bit of an odd puzzle style, but like once you get used to it, it actually makes a lot of sense. And unlike most other puzzle games in this exact genre, this one, there's no guessing. We've only ever had to sort of guess once, and even then it was such an informed guess that it practically was not a guess. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of walk through how to solve some of these things. So we've got 2 tiles here, and we know there's a 5 and a 4. Now, the order matters. So if there's a 5 and then a 4, that means the 5's on the left and the 4 is on the right. So we know for a fact this 5 is here.
But
we don't know where the 4 is, but we do know there's 7 available tiles. There has to be a 4 somewhere in there, which means this tile is filled in because the 4 can either extend left or right, but no matter what, this tile will always be filled as a result of that row.
And because he just filled that in, you know that this is the 2
Yep.
in this column.
Yeah, so the general strategy is to look, up and down effectively at your whole puzzle. You look left, right, and then up and down, and you're like, okay, what? Now that I've solved this one thing, what can I solve next? So now that we've limited this off, we put this X here because we know this doesn't extend down further. I can now look down at this 6th row, which is totally empty because I didn't have enough clues. And in fact, I can actually solve pretty much the entirety of the 6. I don't know if it extends to the left or the right, but I know all 5 of these tiles are the overlap, and that's why it's always filled. So now that I've done that, one of the strongest opening moves, or the strongest moves you can have, is have anything along the edge. Because if you look at this one, the 3, that means there's a 3 on the bottom of this entire pattern. So I can just plop a 3 there, because I know it's there, because I've got the terminus point.
Oh, can I do something?
So we get a 3, we get a 5, and we get a 3, and then a 1. In fact, this actually would have been something I could have filled in from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you fill in the first tile when there's just a blank board? The 1, 3, 5, 3 that I just filled in, here, I'm actually just going to empty it out. Ignore everything else, it's fine,
Okay.
we know where it is.
I know.
The easy way to do it is, you can just do it with black tiles or not, but some of them have clues,
just the right amount of spaces.
Yeah, I call them iron-bound, or set in stone, or whatever. Iron-bound ones are ones that are immutable, that there's only one way that they can be laid down. And so the easy way to do that is just by testing here. And so by putting this down, if you notice, 1, 3, 5, 3, there's only one way that can be placed down. And so, cool, easy peasy, plopped it all down, no problem. Now there are a couple of odd ones that don't always
Can I
fit
fill this in?
perfectly. Yeah.
Because this is a 4,
Yep.
which means that I can actually negate everything up here because it can only extend to one side or the other.
Yep. So one of the other things you might see me do, do I have an easy example of this?
Actually, that means that 6 is down there. Can I take it?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah. But one of the things you might see me do when I'm laying things down is, is I might put down theoreticals and then erase. So, for example, for
Why
the one...
did you do that?
Because the middle 2 was locked off. You're not going to be able to fit another 2 2s here. So,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
Sometimes it gets a little cheatsy and tells me more than I should know. But I ain't complaining. Let's see, we know there's a 2 there, which means we know there's a 2 there. That's all locked off. We know that's there. We don't know more than that, but still. Oh.
That means you know where the 4 is.
4 is, which means we know where that 2 is.
Middle row. Because there's that blank space.
This one?
No. Can I take it?
This one up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which means the 1's over here. Which means we know where the 3 is. That's locked off. This is a 2. That's locked off. 4 is somewhere in here still. But we can extend one direction there. That has to be locked off because those are separate. We know where the 6 is now. Which means we know where the 3 is. I can try and explain further in a bit. Next puzzle that we switch over to, I can actually fully explain how you do an opening move. I usually just kind of start doing it. I haven't actually like put it into words. But it's fairly simple once you get used to it. The really tough ones are the ones that have a lot of open spaces. This one was really easy because if you notice, there are these big swaths of black spots. It gets a lot worse when there's a lot of open space.
Can I take it?
Meow.
Meow. Can I take it?
Meow.
Please.
Yeah. But
Yes.
the problem is you just take it without... Like, you ask and then you take. Can I have it back?
Yes, you can have it back.
Okay, there we go. Let's see. Because we haven't been Xing those off. Means we know where the 7 is, we know that is, we know where the 1 is. We know this is done. Nope, that didn't work. We know the 2 is, we know that's locked off.
The 1's somewhere in there, 1's somewhere in there, 1's... That's a 4.
Yep. And so yeah, it's just kind of this odd game of triangulation, where trying to find where things fit.
Yeah, looks like it's good. Is that a lime?
It's a lime.
Lime wedge!